Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. I hope you're ready for a beautiful scenic treehouse which has a very dark secret. I built this house on a 20 by 15 lot. This is the 5th and final lot in Moonwood Mill. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not going to create more werewolves build, but here at this point I have created one house on each lot in the new world, and I had the best time. And yeah, I decided to build the treehouse first before I'm starting to work on the dark secret that we are going to talk about in a second. Here you can see the reference that I found. I was looking up tree houses and I just wanted to have a bit of inspiration for this and add my own twist to this. But let's talk about what's going on here and the backstory. So I built this beautiful tree house. I wanted this to look as cute as possible. I also tried to incorporate some objects from the brand new Werewolves pack into the tree house. So I wanted this to have more of a cottage living vibe, but I still tried to use some objects from the new pack. The thing is, the new pack is very grungy and dark and all that, but I was going for cute and scenic and the vibe of a cottage here, so I had a hard time incorporating the new objects, but I used the new door, for example, the window. The door is just the cutest. I then worked on this bridge, and you can see the floor between the wood planks, so I simply used an idle living glass floor to hide this. This way you can turn the bridge like this translucent, but it's still functional because your Sims are of course walking over the idle living glass floors. And I used the fence from the new pack, which is also perfect for this vibe, so it's like a combination of different objects and styles. This roof swatch is also perfect for a really dreamy fairy tale like build because it's like really cute, but you have the moss on top. It's a bit overgrown, so it looks kind of grungy and run down, but also very fairy tale like at the same time. I feel like this roof swatch is quite versatile actually. So the backstory is that there is a sim living here, and this sim is a werewolf. And this sim just wants to live a very simple life. He's afraid to hurt someone, and he isn't really sure what to do. He can't really control being a werewolf yet, and he's scared. He's scared of going out while it's a full moon, and he's scared to just destroy something, to hurt someone. And this is why whenever the full moon starts, he goes down in the basement in his very own cell. So he's kind of locked away. So at the top you have this very scenic, beautiful tree house, and then you have this dark secret, which is kind of hidden in a really small shack. I just built this very, very small shack. It's just the entrance to the basement. There's a ladder which is going to lead down, and there you have the secret bunker area. It's like a bunker essentially, and for this area, as you will see, I'm going to use all the new objects. I also used some objects from Get to Work because there's some prison stuff in there like in the pack, and this was just perfect to create a cell down there in the hidden bunker. So it's like a nice contrast. So this has a really cool backstory, and you could like let two Sims move in. There's a double bed. It's like really compact. The whole build is quite small, but you could also have a storyline where you have two Sims, and then maybe one Sim is like locking away the dangerous werewolf while it's full moon or something. I was just thinking of this backstory. I don't know if it makes a lot of sense, but I just had so much fun coming up with this and creating this. So I was just looking for an idea for a tree house in general, and I already had this idea in mind, like you have this dark underground secret thing going on, and this is just so much fun. Like, I don't know when I had so much fun building ever. Like, this is like the best. And here I just worked on some stairs, and for this I used a debug column and a debug wood plank, and I used Twisted Maxis tool mod to rotate each individual step, and this way I created these spiral stairs. And just a disclaimer, as always, this build is CC free and unmodded in the gallery. The tool mod does not affect the gallery upload, and these are just some really fancy decorative stairs, and I used some real proper stairs which I hid in there, so they are like hidden, and the Sims are going to use the real stairs, and they're kind of glitching a little bit into the fake stairs, but it's like super functional. And I used a ladder in the front. I just felt like you need a ladder to have this treehouse vibe, otherwise it's not really looking like a treehouse. So we have this gigantic tree stump, which is from the new pack, in the back, a smaller one in the front, so I still wanted to have the look of a real treehouse, so some type of tree is supporting this house in a way. Here I'm working on the shack, so I just used the basement tool. I removed the ceiling. I then placed part of the ceiling back just in a triangular shape. I then used a wall. I have the door, so it's functional, and I then used more wood planks, which I just wanted to look a bit random. And I'm also going to use a debug item from the new pack, also just some wood planks, but they look more random, so it looks like a mess and like a bit broken down, run down, so it really looks like a random shack in the corner, and it's not really well maintained. So there the contrast already starts, so we have a nice contrast between the shack and the tree house, but the real contrast like really happens down there in the bunker, as you will see. So I'm working on the shack here, and I'm placing all these random items on top, also like a dead tree or something. And I decided to decorate the outside a bit. I didn't want to go overboard on the outside because I wanted to stay in this whole fairy tale cottage theme, so I didn't want to place any trash in front of the shack. Like, for a second I was tempted because I thought, okay, here's where the real storyline begins and it's kind of like the entrance to the scary part, but I really wanted to keep the outside simple, so it looks more like a secret. Like, I didn't want this to be too obvious, kind of, because it's all about everything being like a secret. So I just used this fence from Cottage Living, which looks a tiny bit run down, so it just looks like a corner everyone has forgotten about, and it's like somewhere in the corner on the lot in like an old shack. No one really goes in there, no one cares, and it's like a bit broken down, and there's some wood planks, a broken fence, but it doesn't look too grungy, so you still have like cottage living vibes. And then you have this perfectly maintained area on the left where you like enter the tree house. And here I'm working on the underground area. I used a fence and a gate from Get to Work, so this is kind of an area which you could lock. I'm also going to add a regular door, and I wanted to have some prison bars, so it really looks like a prison. I will have to change this up a bit because the Sims aren't using the cell door because it's just a debug object and it's not functional. So I think the area where the Sims like really locked will probably be like the door, like you can lock the door, but I'm going to figure something out before uploading because I just realized this yesterday, and I used all the new objects from the new pack in there. I just wanted this to look very run down, like a really sad area where the werewolf is just trying to hide, and you see that I like placed all these scratches on the ground from his claws in front of the door, so it looks as if he wants to break out. He was just trying to get out, and this is why I placed these scratches on the floor right in front of the door, because he was so desperate. He just wanted to leave and he couldn't control himself, and I just want to have a kitchen. Technically there's anything your Sims need. So if you, I mean, there is like this thing where people have these painter goblin Sims where they just lock away a Sim to paint. this could also be for you. Like if you are into locking a sim away for painting, there are like really lots of fun weird storylines in the Sims. You could use a lot like this for this as well, probably like just for a sim who's painting a lot. And I also placed a TV, just different things, and I placed a shelf above the bed, and I decided to place some letters on there. Like I found some letters in the decorations, and my idea was that when he tries to calm himself down and he wants to like think of his human side, because he doesn't want to let his werewolf side take over, he just reads letters from his loved ones to kind of remember them and to think of his human side, so the animal inside him does not take over. So this was kind of my idea when I placed these letters on top of the shelf, so when he's chilling on the bed he can just read. And I then furnished the treehouse. The treehouse has two separate buildings which are connected by the bridge, and I used cute furniture from Cottage Living just to make it look very cute. So we have a kitchen here in this area and a small dining table, and in the other building there's just a bedroom, a really small area to watch TV, and a bathroom. So this is more of a tiny house. I know that the pro tiny house builders, like Miss Griffey for example, the amazing Tonya, she would have built like a whole house including gym equipment in one of them. Like she's so good at this, but I just decided to split this and to use both buildings to kind of create one house. And I mean, you can always change things up a bit depending on who moves in and what you want to do with this. And also, please, if you should use this house, please leave a comment down below and tell me about the storyline that you are playing in this house, because I'm just so excited about what I came up with, and I don't know if it makes sense. And just let me know if you are using this house, what you will do with this. I really, really want to hear what you are doing with this house. If you should download this, will there be a sim who just paints all the time? Is it a werewolf storyline? I don't know, just let me know what you will do with this. And yeah, this video is coming to an end. You can here see lots of screenshots. This build is available in the gallery. My ID is KateEmerald, and you can grab the trade parts from my Patreon. And speaking of which, it's time to thank my wonderful Emerald Patreons. A big thank you to Charlotte, Asia, Emma Barnes, Lisa Martin, Miku GDJ, Saturated Spark, Shanna McClam, Talena Lynn, Stephen, and Tina Turner. Thank you so much for your huge support. A big thank you to all my other Patreons, and thank you to anyone who watches my videos. I love you all so, so much. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you might enjoy this build, and I also hope that your Sims will enjoy it. I wish you a perfect day, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye.